We'll go- I hope I'm audible and visible. Screen is visible to you. Let's wait for 1 more minute and we'll start the session. Good evening, Om. Om, am audible to you and screen is visible to you? Just confirm. Okay. Thank you, Om, for confirming. We'll start the session today. So, so yesterday we have learned few operators. Few of them are logical operators like and, or, and not, and even we have learned the other operators like greater than, less than, then equals to, not equals to. Also, we have covered the other clauses like between and in. Today we will learn the pattern matching or wildcards, how we do matching. So you know that like whenever you call customer care or if you went to a bank and they ask the bank account number and they type a few digits of your number and then they will get the whole details data with you, or the people of the bank will get the whole data. So how it happens? So the thing is that there is in SQL there is a concept called pattern matching, and by using a like operator, they do it. Even like if you type few letters, they will get the list of the what they have typed. Like for example, they have typed something. If they want the customer names whose name is starts with A, then if they just type A, then they will get all the names whose name starts with A. They will get the customer names or uh, anything they want to search. You will get that part. So it is called like operator. I will show you. So like operator. So like operator is basically used to search a pattern in a column. Okay, you can use like operator on multiple columns. Basically, there are two wildcards mostly used in SQL, that is the percent sign, which represents zero or multiple strings or characters, and the other is the underscore, which represents a single character. Okay, so I will quickly go to this SSMS and I will show you how it works. Okay, so if you write a query like where column name like and then a and then post that, if you have mentioned this percent sign, meaning that you will get all records whose first letter is and anything after that. Okay, and if you like this, like the person's sign is at the starting and ending with some characters, then you will get like anything starts with anything, the value starts with anything and ends with a. Similarly, like if you type anything in between, then it will search for like it will start the character with anything and ends with anything, but in between it it have that particular word. Okay, so what I will do, I quickly go to will go on the SSMS and I will show you how it works. So for example, I will search for a table called person. So I know that there is a table called person. Let me make it little bit bigger so that it is visible to you. Select, then from. Just give me 1 minute. So I want the person names. Let me first type person is my schema. Then after the schema, there is a table name called person, and I will use a star operator because I want all the fields. So here, if you see, there is a column called first name. Okay. Now what I want, I want all the customer whose name is starts with K. So first letter should be K, and after that it may contain anything. So how can I write first name, then like is a operator or a clause, then give a K. It start with K, so it should start with K. So what I will do, I will write K and then percent sign. So what it will SQL does, SQL will search all, it will give all records whose first name starts with K and it ends with anything. Now I will execute this query. See, here you are getting all the records. If you earlier, if you check, there were few other records. For example, this Terry record, okay, Terry Lee. Um, this record's first name is not starting with letter K, so this record will be excluded. Now what I will do, I will execute this query again, and I will show you. See, you are getting all the records whose first name is starting with K. Now what I want all records whose first name is starting with K but ending with E. That is the Kathy. I don't want this record, okay? So at the end I will put E and I will execute this query. Now I will get such records whose first name starts with K and in between anything and it ends with E. So if you check here, all the records are starting, all records first name is starting with K and it ends with E. Now what if I want the second letter should be anything, okay? After this first letter, for example, my first letter should start with K and then anything post that I want N. Okay. Now I want such a records whose first name starts with K and then there should be a single letter, okay, anything, and it ends with N. So I will execute this record, this query. See, I'm getting only Ken. So in between there is anything. So E is there, okay. Now what I will do, I will check for this last name. I will execute this same query on the last name. Let's see, I want first letter should be A, then anything uh, like two times. There should be two letters, okay. If you check, I have use underscore two times and N. The third letter should be N and it should end with anything. Now let me check, is there any record? Yeah, see. Now if you see, the first letter is A, then there are two letters, okay. So this one, this represents any letter, okay, and this is another, the second is another letter. So if you check, there are like it starts, this last name starts with A and then anything with like two letters, any two letters, and then third letter should be N. If you check here, Let me make it little bit bigger so that you say I have copied here few records. So there is one, yeah, see here also Arun is the last name where like first letter is starting with A, then two letters anything. Post that there is third letter should be N. So if you check here, the third letter is N and ends with anything. So even in case of the Anand also. So this represents the underscore represents single letter. Now like for example, I have one more table called production productor. So I want all the data from production. Production is my schema name. Then dot product is my table name. I will execute this query. Now what I want, the product name should like it should contain a letter chain. It start with a letter. The product should product name start with chain. So how can I write where name like then CHAIN and then ends with anything. So you will get all such records where name starts with chain and ends with anything. So how SQL executes it? It like it will just search for starting letter chain and then ends with anything. Now what if I want that like if my name should start with D and ends with like it should start with D letter and or in between D to F. So how can I write this query? D and F, and then at the end it should end with anything. So this square bracket basically uh, this when there is a square bracket and if you have mentioned a range, so what it will do, it will check any letter whose uh, whose name will start with letter D, either D or E or F. Okay, let's see. We'll execute this query. See, all are like the first name is D and then anything. So you can check here. The first name is starting with F. There is no, yeah, E is there. So, mm, okay. So what it represents, the square bracket represents any single characters within the bracket. Okay. So any characters. Here, like my first character is either D or E or F. So what if I like write like this D or F? In that case, I will not get a letter E. It will check only for D and F letters. If any characters or any name starts with D and F, those records I will get. Let's execute this query. See, now you will not get E record. Okay, so the difference between this and this is that here whatever you mention it will only take as a single character, but in case of if you specify anything here then it will take a range. For example, if I want a product number who starts with uh, in between like 5 to 8, then how can I write that in this case? No, but we don't have any. Yeah, for example, like my if my number is in between 1 and 0, then how can I write? Just to specify this safety lock level, and then you can specify 1. So if you specify just only 1, then it will not give the other letters. Okay, what I will do? I will execute this query. Oh, there is no like. It will only check for 1. There is no value, only 1. So see here it will check like the first letter should start with the first number should start with 1. Okay, and at the end anything. Or what can we do? Let's check one more record. Now like if I specify 1 to 8, then what it does, it will check the first letter or first number should be 1 and then 8, and after that it should be anything. So see, it will gives like 100. If there is a value 9, then it will not show you. What I will do, I will just give a 5. Okay. So what it will does, it will remove the 800 records, or those values does not start with 5, and it will give me the all the records. Those are starting with 1 to 5. See, if you can see here, 100 is there, 300 is there, 4 is there, though there is a single value. Now let me explain other option also. Now what if I want a name, product name, um, road? Okay, I want all products which contains name like road, means name road should be anywhere. Okay, a road should be in between, and that product should start with any letter. So what I will do, road, and then specify like so. It will start with meaning of this percentage, it will start with any character. It should contain a road in between, and after that it should end with anything. So I'll execute this one. Oh, it's not giving the right. There is no name like this road actually. Oh, see, the reason is I am looking into this column. Okay, here column name is different, so I should look into the name column. So here you can type name, and then you will get all the product names where this product name contains road in between. So there are around 103 rows. You can combine these like you can combine these like operator with the other. Like for example, I want records where name contain a word like road, or name like, if any product whose name starts with A. I want all such products. So okay, how I will get it. See here, this product doesn't contain any word like it is not contain keyword like road, but still it is giving me the result because I am specifying or condition, and if any of the condition is satisfying, then in that case I will get a result. Then for example, mm, okay, now what if I don't want all the names? I want all the products whose names should not start with letter A. So how can I write a query? You can write a query not like name, not. You can specify a keyword like not like, and then I don't want products whose name starts with A. So see, I'm getting all the product names whose name starts is not starting with A. The other way is, instead of specifying not keyword, you can also specify this caret symbol. So here also, oh, okay, yeah, try this way. So caret will not work in this case. Yeah, it will if you want all letters A, let me check the syntax. Okay, so this will work in case of you if you are specifying a value like let me get the all product names again, or we will search this on the person table. Person dot where name, first name. have written few queries. Okay, so for example, I will take this one for you. Now, what it will does, it will check the name which starts with A and the second letter should be either B or C or D and it should end with anything. Now what I will execute this query. See, the last name, the first letter is A, second letter is B, either B or C or D. There is no other records. Okay, if you check, like, it is in between. Now what I want the records whose last name starts with A, but the second letter should not contain a B or C or D. Then in that case, you can use this caret symbol. And now, like, it you will not get this records. Let's see. See, now either earlier you were getting the Adam records, right? Now it is not coming. So this is called the caret. Basically, it is a negate character. Then hash okay. So uh, what if the data itself contain any percent operator? So in that case, for example, let me check. I have another table, cell store feedback. Okay. Now if you see here, the comment contains 30 and percent, and if I want only, I don't want this record, I want only this record. So you may write the query like this, right? Where comment like and then 30 and percent, right? So, or you will write like this, right? So here you are getting USD also, but I'm not interested into this USD. I want only this record. How can I get? So there is, you can write this in such a way that you can specify any symbol, then again percentage, and then and execute this one. Here you have to specify. See, here I am getting only this record. Now I'm not getting the other record where 30 USD was there earlier. Will show you the difference between these two. So earlier I wrote query like this. Okay. See, the result of this query is like 30 and 30% as well as 30 USD, but I'm not interested into this one. I want this one. Okay, so how can I get? So like what it does, SQL in this case, it will try to like search for 30 and that anything, but it will, if I want, like, if this the wildcard symbol percentage itself is in string, then if you want that string, then in that case you can specify anything here. You for escape character, just mention either exclamation mark, or you can specify this backward sign and then execute this one. See, I'm getting, you can specify in escape keyword that particular letter here only. Okay, so this is the like operator. Even if you want to query, for example, if you want select star from persons dot person, let's execute it. Okay. I want the letter where second letter should be E and it starts with anything and it ends with anything. So then how can I write like where first name like in bracket it should start with anything, okay, and then the second letter should be E, so you can write this, and third letter should be anything, and at the end or at the end you can specify percent sign. So what it will does, it will return me those records whose first name contain the second letter contains only a letter. So let's execute this one. So see, you will get all records whose first name contain only second letter as a E. So this is the like operator. Basically, like most of the time, if you for faster search or to if you want to search a particular pattern, that time it is used. For example, like if I want to search for cities or like cities who starts with LOAN or whose city name starts with anything, then that time they use this character. Now we will learn what is calculated field sign, computed field sign, alias. Okay, so you know that this. Okay, let me. What is calculated field? Okay, so basically select star from human resources dot employees. Let me check. Is there anything I can show you for computed? Okay, what if I want to the calculation of these two fields, then how can I do that? So you can just specify the column names here, vacation hours plus sick leave hours. Okay, and then you can execute this query, or what I will do, I will write the same query, same columns one more time for understanding purpose. I will just execute this query. See, you will get the like summation of these two fields in the same row. But here the column name is not there. Okay, so how can I give the column name? Just specify as keyword, and then you can give any name. Okay, total hours. I will give you total hours. It is not required to put this total hours in single inverted comma. You can remove this one and you can execute. Okay, but if you want to space in between, that time you can either specify in the square bracket. Okay, space is not allowed in the column name, so to avoid that, uh, you can specify it into the square bracket. So let's execute it. See, this is called as an expression or a computed columns. Sometimes like let me take this example. So we'll create one more table. I will explain you what is computed column. This is called the basically expression. We will create a table called product entity and product. So here this is the column name, this is column name, product ID, integer is data type, and what is the identity. Okay, so I will explain this identity also now. So when you go like most of the time when you do a registration, so you will not you will not get a number as per your choice. Okay, So for example, if you are doing a registration, then you will get a random number. And for example, you are doing a registration at university level for an exam, then the PRN number will be assigned. But every time how this PRN number is generated. So basically, if if you like the if you are trying to register and then that time you will not get a number of your choice. It will be automatically generated. Okay. So for example, Aadhaar card, you cannot have a choice to get the Aadhaar card number, but how the uniqueness of Aadhaar card is maintained. So there is a concept called identity. So what it does, it will maintain a identity of each field. And what is this? This is called the seed and increment value. So seed means from where this number should start. Okay, if I mention 100, then this field will start, this product ID will start at the 100th place. And if you specify identity keyword for a particular column, in that case, uh, if you it is not mandatory to pass the value to it. So here what I will do, I will start this product ID at the 1 and it will increment one by one. What is this quantity available? This is a data type, this is the column name, and there is one more column name called unit price, and data type is money. So here I want to like inventory value, or you can specify total value, okay, or total price you can specify. How this value is to be calculated? Total. Total price is equals to quantity available into unit price, or you can mention quantity available in quantity sold. QTY sold, okay. So quantity sold into unit price is equals to your total price. Here I am not doing any calculation, and this will be like I will not insert any value into this total price. It will automatically calculated based on these two values. So I will execute this query. This is called actually computed column. So what I will do, I will insert few values. Insert into table name. This is the syntax to insert the values into table. Then now what I will do, I don't want to insert values in this table. So what I will do, will insert only values into the quantity sold and unit price column. So can we add one more column called the product name? Let's add it. So how to add a column in existing table? The syntax is alter table, then table name dbo.products, just copy paste it here, then add, then column name prod or product underscore name, and then data type. Now insert the values into this column also. It will be at end. So quantity sold, for example 10 quantity sold, unit price per chair price is 100 rupees, then product name is chair, chair. Okay, now I am not inserting any value in the product and product ID as well as total price. I will just execute this query. Let's see, one row affected. Now what I will do, I will use a select star from products table. Okay, see this, like the value is automatically calculated. There is no need to do the calculation. Okay, and even the product ID is 1. What I will do, I will add one more record with quantity as 20, then Unit price is again I will keep 100, and here I will put pan. I will execute this. See, see, product ID is automatically incremented. Okay, it is already automatically increased. The reason is that why it is increased. It is increased because of this identity clause. And how I am increasing? It is starting at 1, and then it it is increased by 1. What I will do, instead of starting at the 1, I want to start at the 100. So how can I do? I will drop this table and I will create the same table again, or we will create one more record. Okay, like we will create a table called the student or bank account numbers. Create table. We'll create a customer table. Okay, customer, then customer score ID, ID, int. Now I want to start from the 100 and it should increment by 1. You can specify any value, but most of the time like it it will be increased by 1. So in real scenario, then what can we mention? Name, name, that is the customer name, then data type is where 100. Okay, then date of birth of a customer, date, then age. So age is integer. How I am calculating? Age can be calculated as the difference between today's date and date of birth. So how it is? Date dip. I will explain what is this date difference, how it works. As earlier I mentioned, this get date will give you today's date. Okay, so I am calculating. I have created one field called age, which is a computed column. Now I will create a table. So I have created a table. There is no need to put a value into this cust id table, cust id column. So what I will do, I will insert few values, insert into this customer field, and then as I am not inserting value to each field, so I have to mention a column name. So I will mention a column names, then date of birth. I will like this is a calculated column. Okay, so there is no need to value specify the values or pass a values. So what I will do, oh, cust id is not required at all, so we'll remove this cust id from here, and then we'll pass customer name as a Maisha, then her date of birth is 2018-07-20. Okay, and I will execute this query. So now in this case my customer id should start with 100. Okay, let's see whether it is starting with 100 or not. Select star. To read the data, what is syntax? The syntax is select star, then from, and then specify the column name. See, her age is 4 years. If you calculate the numbers, if you do calculation on year basis, then 4 year is her age. Then 100, you can see here clearly 100 is visible. So now it is starting with 100. Now what I will do, I will add one more field called J, and will specify date of birth as 2021. What is today's date? 04 and 12. I will execute. Now in this case, this value, this customer ID should be incremented by 1, incremented by 1. Let's see, 1 and not 1, not 1, J, and the date of, like, the age is 1 because I just specified this 20210412 as a date. So this is called as a computed column, and this is called the identity. So most of the cases when you do a registration, then that the uniqueness is maintained with this field. You can insert the values into this field manually also. I will show you in tomorrow session how to specify the values into the identity field. Let me check. Alice. Okay. So if you want to specify like if you have a bigger name, okay, for example, this table name, okay, this table is having a very big name, and now if you want to a shorthand name, then in that case you can specify a keyword called as and then anything. So here this A is nothing but this whole table name. Actually, this is alias, okay, it's a virtual name. It will not rename this table. I will explain when it will be helpful. It is basically helpful during join or subqueries. Instead of writing the column names multiple times, it's always better to write a alias. Okay, so now we will learn delete statement. So what is delete statement? Delete is a DML command which is used to remove records from a table. So during interview, most of the time, this question you will be asked this question: what is delete statement, and what is the purpose of the delete statement? The purpose of the delete statement is to delete the records from table. Now we have a customer table, right? Now what I want to delete? I want to delete this 100 records. So how can I delete? The syntax is delete from then customer. Now I want to delete a customer ID equals to 100 records. So how can I specify? Just specify where clause. This is used to restrict a record. Okay. So if I haven't specified where clause, what it will does, it will delete all the records. Now I will execute this one, and one row is affected. There are how many records whose customer ID was 100? Only one records. Let's see. The data is not there. Okay. Now what? Okay, I will insert that record again, and now let's see how many records are there. Two records. I have inserted this record again. Now instead of specifying where clause, I will execute this query. What will happen? Let's see. It will delete all records from the table. So always keep in mind while dealing with the delete, if you want to delete a particular records, then don't forget to mention a where clause. While writing a syntax of the delete, always write syntax like this only: delete, go directly down, then write where clause, okay, and then post that, write whatever you want to delete. Now in case of product, we have a product table also, right? Product, the table is there. Let me check what are the different values where there. Select star from. Periodicity. Let me check what is the table name. Yes, products is the table name. So there are two ways to delete a data from table. One is by using delete and other is truncate. So this is a DML command, whereas this is a DDL command. Okay, data manipulation versus data definition. So this question is like, without this question the SQL interview itself will not complete. Okay, so to truncate, what is the difference between these two is truncate will remove all the records from this table, but where in case of the delete also removes all the records. But we can, if you want to like remove particular records, then you can specify where clause and remove the that particular record. But in case of the truncate statement, it will, we cannot write a where clause. Okay, so where clause is only available with the delete and not with the truncate. So let's see, there are two records. Now what I will do, I will write a truncate statement, truncate table, and then specify table name. It will remove all the records. See, there will be no records. So this is the basically difference between delete and truncate. Truncate is delete is a DML statement, whereas truncate is a DDL statement. Then if you want to delete a particular record by using where clause, we can use delete, like we can use a delete statement and we can delete that particular record. But in case of truncate, we cannot specify a where clause, hence this will delete all the records. So thank you for joining. We'll connect tomorrow. I will teach you how to update the records, how to modify the records, and then again we'll possibly we will learn what are the different types of the joins or other SQL functions. Basically tomorrow we will check how to like we will deal with the string functions of the SQL, how to get a particular records or how to extract data from a particular string. For example, there is a mm, let's see, this is the table, right? If I want only few words, then just give me 1 minute. Okay, so basically, if you want only can word or if you want to identify the space or a particular uh, word, then like there are different functions. For example, substring to get the part of the string. Then what is the position of this 30? At what position this 30 is? Then if I want a particular word or uh, right 10 characters or left 10 characters, then if I want to like concat the first name and last name, then how can we do that? There are different functions, built-in functions. We'll learn the different built-in functions. So for example, I will show you one thing. For example, let me show you. Select star from, okay, human resource dot employees. Okay, here there is no field. Okay, for example, I want the like only day part. Okay, from this higher date, how can I achieve? Like I will mention higher date. Then there is a function called write. Then you have to specify a column name and how many digits you want, how many characters you want. You can specify that part. And let's see, you are getting only right sides two characters. Okay, so there are different functions in SQL Server, built-in functions. We will learn these functions. These are very important while dealing with data. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Please stop here.